I've already started working on this. This is pretty much as it came here. I've just took the distributor off. I've took a few bolts out. These want a spanner on them. And I've took the plate off of there, and I've took the fuel pump off of there. That's all I've done to it. First job, now it's up in the air, because obviously it was on the floor before, will be to crack the sump plug and see how much water comes out of here. I did lose a bit when we moved it. There was a lot more oil in that than what I expected. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start by removing the front pulley. And there we go. It's piping up. I have already put a crowbar on the back side of the crankshaft there. This should hopefully just come. There we go. Simple as that. Right, so I set the puller up. I've put the puller into the knot there. There we go. Now I can see there appears to be a lot of wear on that end of that pulley where the seal would go, so that may need a speedy sleeve, or I'll just replace the pulley. Oh, that's warm. There we go. Oh, that smells nice. A bit of burning oil. So you can see the wear on there. Look, that's just going to leak straight out of the. If you put a new seal, it's just going to leak again. So we may condemn that to the scrap bin. Removing the sump. Maybe not. There we go. There we have a very sludgy sump. What I'm going to do is mark up the bearings, because there's marks here, there and everywhere, although they do seem to be clearly marked 1, 2, 3 and 4, the big ends. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a chisel and a hammer, and I'm going to mark 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then finally 1, 2, 3, 4, and the same on the mains. 1, where is it? 1, 2, 3. The back one you can't get wrong, but I'm going to mark it anyway. 1, oh, I put 3 on there, should only put 2. I know what it means. Like I said, you can't get these wrong. But you mark these on with the marking on the front face, so that when you put it back together, you know which side is the front. I'm also, while I'm here, I'm going to knock these tabs over on the oil pump. Right, I got a bit carried away there. I sort of removed everything. I took the front timing chain cover off, that's down there. I've took the big end caps off, so the pistons are now all loose. I'm just going to remove the crankshaft. So I've not got a clue how far I'm going to go with this project. Do we re-bore it? Do we re-ring it? That's kind of what I was intending to do, just re-ring it and re-shell it. But while it's in bits, why not go the whole way with it? Now I believe I've already looked at one of these. These are standard. They're not actually marked standard, but they are marked Rover. So this should now lift straight out of here. And put this on a clean surface where it won't get damaged. Yeah, drop that. That's kind of what we didn't want to happen. So, what I do when I don't drop them, that's obviously the way it's come out. So what I do is I quickly get the cap, so this is number 3, remove the shell, get the cap and make sure it goes back on the same way round that it came out, so that my marking is still relevant and we know it's still the right way round. The reason why it's important to get these the right way around is you've got a hole there, and on that side you've got no hole. So this is definitely the one that was causing it to seize up, and it was sat in the that garage for all them years. It's all the rings are seized in there. The other ones have come out quite nicely, and the rings are all loose, which is how they should be.
He's fucking sanding it down, up, right?
Oh, come
it's
on.
It's not even fucking
3 years since I've done this.
No, it's not. Went on a shopping spree.
What's your fucking problem?
What's my fucking problem? You was a dickhead, that's what you was doing.
I'd forgot that.
I ain't forgot fucking all of it. You was up, down, and you went down, then ran, then stopped, then fucking this, then that. Don't tell me I fucking watched you. Fucking bell ends springs to mind.
bolting it up to the frame, the stand, engine stand, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So what we're going to do today, or over the next few hours, is simply get this thing assembled back together so that tomorrow afternoon, probably, more than likely, I don't know, this engine will go back into the vehicle. By the way, these bolts that I'm using here are 3/8 UNF. Right, let's start on the rebuild of this engine. So I was never intending to go this far into this, but what sort of won the argument was that we've got it stripped and we could have put it back together as it was, but it might have only lasted 5 minutes. As it happens, the clearance on the original pistons to the original bore was 7 thou, which is obviously quite a lot. So we've rebored it plus 20. Let's set this side. I'm going to rebuild this engine in the reverse order as to how it came apart. So there's no science going into this whatsoever. And I'm going to put oil in here, and I can't see a thing as to where it's going. So that's okay. And then one more at the back. The camshaft that we're using, which is over here, it isn't the original, because the original was absolutely knackered. So I'm actually doing the right thing. I'm just banging in another camshaft because I want to get this thing together so I can start using my vehicle again. And obviously Saturday afternoon, nowhere's going to be open. Right, next thing, we need to get the plate on there, check the clearance on the, check the end float on the camshaft. Right, next thing I've ended up using this engine's original sprocket and retaining plate because the other ones weren't very good at all. I've lost my oil. So I'm just going to give this a nice little coating of oil, because that is obviously going to rub on that back plate there. Let's give that a dab of oil. Now on this sprocket here we have a P and a P. For the minute we want this P here. That goes in line with the keyway that's on the camshaft itself. So that's going to go on there. This may be tricky because we're trying to meet together two parts that were never so that's now assembled in, and what we're going to do, we're going to pick the hole opposite the key, which is sort of the bottom hole, and then we're going to slide that in there. And what we're going to do, find a socket bigger than that. I use metric sockets even though by rights you're not really supposed to. Two and a half to 5.5, not 25 to 55. So that would have to be a massive clearance. So 0 there, 5 thou. That's within the tolerance. So I'm going to get them tabs knocked over and move on to the next bit. Uno. Duh. Right. So, I'm going to take a break from that and we're going to do the timing camshaft thingy, I don't know what it's called, gear. Right, for this is what I'm referring to, this gear here. I'm not sure if that's actually iced over or not. Anyway, I don't know. But I've cleaned it up. It's been through the cleaning solution. We need the oil can, we need the light of 1,000 candles. To start this off, I'm going to oil down inside there, like that, and then I'm just going to absolutely flood it in oil. What you have to do is get this in the hole, like that, but as it goes in it's going to rotate as it meshes in with my fingers in to pull it up, but I can't. I'm going for that position. This is really going to take some time. Hopefully. Come on, mesh in. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. In. Will someone help? I see. It goes in one way. Hang on a minute, we have to be right here, don't we? There's another variable. Right, so this sprocket has to go with the letter P against that hole. And I'm actually just going to double check this. I almost got that wrong then. I'll double check that. 12. So with that mark there against that, this mark down here, see the flat line, should be against that hole there. And as you can clearly see, it's not. So, stick that in there. I can't feel. Right, that feels. That's the groove, so we're 180 degrees out. I know we've had it once, it's maddening. Is that it? So the way I've done this, or got this to where we're at, or got this to this stage, is I've set the gear up, and if you remember, I lubricated the outer edge of the bronze bush with oil. So once I got it in line, I could use the screwdriver, smaller one than this, inside that hole and just rotate that bronze bush round until it lines up. And then I still need to do a bit of adjustment, but as you will see, I think what I'll do, I'm going to leave the top side for now, we're going to flip it over and we're going to start the crank.